some of the diehard never Trumpers are beginning to reimagine Donald Trump. But first, we were lied to for 4 years about Joe Biden's condition. How many times do we hear people like Joe Scarborough say, I've never seen him better. I've known him for a long time. The Brzezinskis have known him for a long time. This is the best Biden I've ever seen. And Karine Jean-Pierre said, I'm much younger than he is. I can't even keep up with him. We were lied to for years. Big, long article in the Wall Street Journal and in the New York Times. You can eliminate the Wall Street Journal, but you can't eliminate the New York Times if you're on the left. All saying the same thing. From day one, his staffers covered up for him. Number 38.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine. How people interpret that is up to them, but I engage with him frequently and alert, sound, does his homework, reads the papers, reads all the read-ahead material, and is very, very engaging in issues of very serious matters of war and peace and life and death. So if the American people are worried about an individual who is, someone who's making decisions of war and peace and has access to, makes the decisions of nuclear weapons and that sort of thing, I think they can rest easy.
The president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him. We just got back from New Mexico. We just got back from California. That is not a question that we should be even asking. Just look at the work that he does. Look how he's delivering for the American public. Look, that article that we're talking about is hearsay. It's salacious. That's not what we care about.
I know that Joe Biden is not on the ballot. I understand that. But the reason that you are at the top of the ticket is because he dropped out of this race. And so I want to ask you, and it was largely because of that debate performance back in June. You defended him in the days before and in the days after as you were campaigning for another 4 years for President Biden. Can you say that you were honest with the American people about what you saw in those moments with President Biden as you were with him again and again, repeatedly in that time?
Of course. Joe Biden is an extremely accomplished, experienced, and capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
The latter was Kamala Harris. And notice Kamala Harris broke eye contact. She knew she was lying. Oh, I can't believe you're even asking me about this. And General Milley, regarding foreign policy decisions, according to the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Joe Biden wasn't even instrumental in the pullout from Afghanistan. One of the most disastrous blunders, military blunders in the history of this country. He wasn't even involved. They lied over and over and over again. It wasn't just a lie. This is the most powerful person in the world, the commander-in-chief, leader of the free world, and you weren't honest about this? Number 39.
If you're concerned about Joe Biden's age, you probably don't know Joe Biden.
Biden is actually in good shape.
Right. Mentally, he's quite acute.
Any aide who engages with him or reporters, we can see this. The gears of his mind are working.
The right-wing media has so fixated on Biden and Biden purportedly having cognitive issues.
It's not just making an issue of Biden's age. It's lying. It's saying he's senile. It's saying he's demented. Saying he's out of it.
Russian television has been filled with speculation about President Biden's age, about his mental state of mind.
That's an issue pushed by right-wing media, but it's not correct.
Republicans on the other side have spent 4 years almost kind of weaponizing Biden's age against him. Trump is not that much younger than him.
Biden is just a couple of years older than Donald Trump.
Why so much attention on Biden's age? Trump isn't much younger.
This whole vein is really, really unseemly. I mean, ageism.
I'm going to say quite bluntly, there is some ageism going on here.
Yeah, I think there is some ageism going on.
Biden's personal physician wrote that he, quote, remains a healthy, vigorous 80-year-old male.
He is a healthy, vigorous 80-year-old male.
He had a good physical. His doctor says he's vigorous.
The reality is nothing like the dystopian picture that the Republicans are trying to paint of this senile, doddering president, and he's as sharp as a tack.
Again, according to the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, this cover-up went on from day one. He would have good days and bad days. He often would only meet later on in the day when he was feeling better. He curtailed meetings with leaders. Staffers had to come in and jump in, guide him around. This went on for 4 years, as we were told. Anybody that raises questions about Biden's declining mental abilities is engaging in right-wing conspiracy theories. Number 40.
First mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy.
They have spent decades explaining away his gaffes. Here is a trip down memory lane.
It's more Reagan-esque. That way, you're like, it's Grandpa, it's Uncle Joe.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Those "oh, that Joe" moments are part of his political charm.
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
So much of what is appealing about him to a lot of voters is the fact that he's authentic.
I got hairy legs.
The fact that he doesn't always seem scripted.
The kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Your AR-14s are what?
Okay, this is not okay. Hold on, all right? And let's there's a lot of guys.
Biden yesterday showed the other side of his humanity, and that is he's a fighter.
And some people see that as charming, a candidate who's willing to air it out face-to-face with a guy.
This is going to be a net plus for Joe Biden.
Ashton Carter, Joe Biden, the vice president, was swearing him in to be defense secretary. He waved his wife over and little hands-on treatment from the vice president.
Everybody knows he's a touchy-feely guy, and he's just very friendly. He is. He was reportedly comforting her after she fell on ice.
It's spread love.
Coon said Maggie was not uncomfortable at all.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
He's making an historic reference he may not have been right to do, but it certainly wasn't malignant.
I'm not even sure it had anything to do with race.
Play the radio. Make sure make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone.
Still, he is a master of the quick recovery.
Make sure the kids hear words.
These qualities are almost endearing to voters.
We choose truth over facts.
They find him more believable because he makes missteps every so often.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
These gaffes are also a part of who he is as a politician.
We've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
And it wasn't just the gaffes that they covered up and minimized. It's the lies. Lying for decades about his alleged civil rights record. Claimed that he was raised in the black church. People at the church said they never saw him. I used to strategize about how to desegregate movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware. No evidence of it. New York Times said that it never happened and that his aides gently reminded him to stop saying it. He kept saying it anyway. When his first wife was killed and daughter died in that traffic accident, Biden lied and said the man that struck them had been drunk. He was not. And the man's daughter went to Biden and said, "Please, my father feels badly enough about all of this. You're saying he was drunk. He wasn't drunk." And Biden said, "You're right. I shouldn't say it. I won't say it again." And said it again. Said that he visited Nelson Mandela when Nelson Mandela was behind bars during apartheid South Africa. He did not. Lied over and over and over again. And nobody said a word. And you wonder why nobody trusts the media. And people that pointed it out, it was obvious. He fell. He couldn't go up and down the stairs of Air Force One. He fell over a sandbag, often wandered around, had no idea where he was. You pointed out you're engaging in a right-wing conspiracy theory. Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.